They said the laws of physics were absolute, the constants of the universe, unchanging, unbroken, unbreakable. To the ancient races of the galaxy, this truth was as firm as the stars themselves. Reality had rules, the rules had boundaries, and those boundaries could never be crossed. But then, humanity arrived. We were small in numbers compared to the great civilizations, fragile, really, when measured against the titans of the void. Our weapons were not unmatched. Our fleets were not the largest. Our homeworld was young compared to the elder worlds of the stars. Yet we carried something dangerous within us, something even the wisest of empires could not understand. We carried audacity. It began with a discovery. Out on the edge of charted space, far beyond the trade lanes and borders, a derelict drifted in the silence of the void. At first glance, it was unremarkable, a husk of alloy and dust that looked no different from the countless wrecks scattered through the galaxy. But the scans whispered of something strange, something inconsistent. The crew of a small human exploration vessel, Dauntless, were the first to breach it. Inside the dead halls of that alien ruin, they found a chamber that should not have existed. Its dimensions were wrong. Its angles bent inward and outward at once, a space folded against itself, like a reflection in broken glass. And in the center of that chamber, they found an object. It was not a machine, it was not a weapon, it was not even a tool, as far as anyone could tell. It was a script, carved not into stone or metal, but into the very air of the chamber itself, glowing, shifting symbols that changed each time they were looked at. The words carried no sound, yet every member of the crew heard them in their own language. Reality is editable. The page is yours. The artifact was taken back, studied, tested, dissected. To the human scientists, it was a mystery that demanded pursuit. To the galaxy, it was a joke. The elder races scoffed. The Orin, whose scholars had mapped quantum fields with terrifying precision, dismissed it as a mythmaker's toy. The Geln, who had studied entropy for millennia, declared it a dangerous superstition. The Seraphis Empire even issued a warning. The attempt to tamper with constants is madness. Physics is law. Law cannot be broken. You court destruction. But the humans did not stop. They tried and failed and tried again. They experimented with energy fields, with particle streams, with quantum collapses. Each failure only fueled their hunger. Where others saw futility, humans saw challenge. Where others gave up, humans grew obsessed. And one day, the experiment worked. It began with a test in the deserts of Mars, a device constructed around fragments of the alien relic humming with energy drawn from the planet's crust. The experiment was meant to be simple. Attempt to shift the gravitational pull of a single rock by 1%. The rock did not fall faster. Instead, gravity itself wavered. Not much, only for a fraction of a second. But in that blink of time, instruments across the desert registered a change. The pull of Mars flickered, dipped, and returned. For a heartbeat, the very constant that defined mass and weight bent. The scientists erupted in chaos, half believed it was error, half screamed that it was proof. And when word reached the galaxy, the laughter stopped. At first, the elder races dismissed it as trickery. They claimed human instruments were flawed. They accused humanity of lying, of faking data to earn attention. But when alien observers were invited to witness the next experiment, their arrogance began to crack. This time it was not a rock. It was light. A controlled beam fired across a vacuum chamber, and then slowed. Not refracted, not scattered, not absorbed, slowed. Every law said it was impossible, yet the instruments confirmed it. The observers watched in silence as light itself bent to human will. The laughter did not return. Instead, fear took its place. The humans pushed harder. If light could bend, could time, if gravity could shift, could space, bit by bit they learned. The relic had not been a machine, but a guide, a key to understanding that reality itself was not fixed, but coded, written like words on a page. And what could be written could be rewritten. Entropy, the arrow of time, was the first to fall. A single apple, aged for days, reversed its rot and grew fresh again. Then came probability, a die thrown 1,000 times, and each roll, impossibly, landed on 6. Then came mass. A block of iron was made as light as paper, then as heavy as a mountain. The galaxy watched, horrified. It was inevitable. Fear breeds violence, and the Seraphis Empire struck first. They declared humanity a threat to existence itself, a dangerous anomaly that had to be contained before the laws of the universe unraveled. A fleet descended upon Sol, weapons primed. The humans responded, not with weapons, but with rewrites. The Seraphis fleet entered orbit, their warships blotting out the stars. Missiles rained down, energy beams carved the void. Yet as the weapons fired, they did not land. The humans had rewritten causality. Explosions bloomed in silence, warheads flickering into nothingness before detonation. Laser beams stretched endlessly, their light slowed until it crawled through space like a dying ember. The Seraphis panicked. They adjusted, recalibrated, fired again, and then, in horror, they saw the battlefield itself shift. Distances warped, their sensors failed, space bent in ways no map could follow. Some ships found themselves looped endlessly, trapped in circles where forward became backward. Others fell upward, dragged into impossible orbits by gravity that no longer obeyed their engines. The Seraphis did not lose because humans fired back. They lost because reality betrayed them. The survivors fled. The galaxy trembled. After that day, no empire dared to challenge us directly. But fear only grew. To them, humans had become something alien, not bound by the same universe they lived in. Whispers spread. What if humans erase us from existence? What if they rewrite history? What if they decide we never existed at all, but humanity was not reckless? Or perhaps we were reckless in a different way. For though we could bend reality, we did not use it for conquest. We used it for creation. We ended famine by rewriting soil to bloom fertile on barren worlds. We ended energy crises by rewriting fusion to be clean and endless. We healed the dying by rewriting the decay of cells. We turned the impossible into the ordinary. And the galaxy, once fearful, began to marvel. Yet even as awe replaced fear, the question lingered. How far would humans go? If reality was a book, how much could be rewritten before the story itself broke? No one knew. Perhaps not even we did. But one thing was certain. The galaxy would never again speak of the laws of physics. For on that day, when the relic whispered its secret, humanity learned the truth. The universe is not bound by laws. It is bound by imagination. And humans dared to imagine more than anyone else ever had. That was the story of The Day Humans Rewrote Reality. If you enjoyed this HFY tale, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps more people discover these stories. And tell me in the comments, if you could rewrite one law of reality, what would you change first? Because who knows? Maybe one day it won't just be a story.